So, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'll be presenting about my research, which is titled as the impact of hybrid work on employee performance and organizational culture as the moderating variable. My research supervisor is Prof. Madia Dr. Karinizam bin Wahman Noor and also Dr. Mashita binti Sulaiman. Moving on to my second slide, which highlighted my introduction, okay, on my three variables, which is the hybrid work, the employee performance, and organizational culture. Okay, the first one is hybrid work. Okay, why do we actually implement hybrid work? Okay, so hybrid work has started being implemented because of the COVID-19 outbreak. Okay, hybrid work is seen as a precautionary measure. Okay, this is actually being stated in the research conducted by Krishnan in the year 2021. Okay, the solutions of Omicron variant, how do people actually work, is actually through hybrid work. Okay, however, the success of hybrid work is dependent on organizational support, flexibility, and the adaptation of physical and digital work environments. Moving on to the second variable, which is the employee performance. I define employee performance as the result of tasks assigned. This is based on the research conducted by Iskamto in the year 2021. Okay, employee performance is important as it remains a critical aspect of accomplishing an organizational objectives. Moving on to the third variable, which is the organizational culture. The importance of organizational culture is because that organizational culture creates a norms and values that can highlight the high standards in an organization. Okay, moving on. This is my problem statement. I first highlight why hybrid work is viewed as an ideal way of working based on the survey conducted by Cisco in the year 2022. Okay, employees in the Asian market would actually prefer hybrid work. According to another research, one software in the year 2022 highlighted that 90% of employers support the implementation of hybrid work. Moving on to Malaysian data, according to Chow in the year 2022, 61.7% of Malaysian companies wanted to continue to implement hybrid work in order to cope with COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, however, is there any gap in the implementation of hybrid work? Is this research necessary? I have found out that based on Microsoft Work Trend Index, it highlighted that hybrid work causes digital burnout, zero engagement between employee and employee, and unstable performance. Okay, for that reason, okay, I further highlighted the purpose of my study, which is the first one. I wanted to identify the implementation of hybrid work. I have chosen Zainab as my research location. Second of all, I wanted to analyze the impact of hybrid work on employee performance in Zainab. And the last one is I wanted to explore the moderating variable of organizational culture on the relationship between hybrid work and employee performance. This is because organizational culture has been stated in previous research that it can assist in achieving an organizational objective by creating a high standards among employees. Okay, this is my literature review. I highlighted my literature review towards three of my variables, which is the hybrid work, the employee performance, and the organizational culture. Okay, I first highlight the definition of hybrid work, which is study work. Then I further highlight the implementation of hybrid work. Okay, which is highlighted here that establishing a well-defined system with guidelines. Okay, and in order to measure hybrid work, I have chosen the work design questionnaire WDQ developed by Morrison and Humphrey, okay, which actually highlighted 6 measurable index, which is the work scheduling autonomy, the work method autonomy, the monitoring mechanism, home workspace suitability, digital social support, and employee job satisfaction. Moving on to my next slide, which is the variable of my second, which is the literature review of my second variable, employee performance. I've used the same approach, which is I first highlight the definition of employee performance, okay, and then the measure impact of hybrid work towards employee performance, and then the research tool that I use to actually study the employee performance in my research. I have chosen Young Lams in the year 2016 that have established an employee performance questionnaire, okay, where the measurable index highlighted four variables, which is the vision, communication, and overall development as the first variable, the job training and rewards as the second, the job satisfaction as the third, and the fourth, the perceived job performance as the last variable. Moving on to my last literature review, which is the organizational culture. Okay, I have chosen the organizational culture assessment questionnaire. Okay, the organizational culture assessment questionnaire developed by Sashkin and Rosenbach in the year 1990, okay, with their measurable index, with the four measurable index, which is the adaptation to change in the workplace, okay, the achieving business goal, building effective teamwork, and developing a customer-oriented approach, okay. Moving on to the next slide, okay, which is my research methodology. Okay, my research methodology, I've highlighted research design, location of the study, population and sampling design under the population and sampling. The first one is research and design. Hybrid work will be my independent variable. Employee performance will be my dependent variable, and organizational culture will be my moderating variable. I've chosen Sime Darby, okay, because it is a strategic locations and a leading corporate sector. And aside to that, Sime Darby have implemented hybrid work. Okay, and then my population and sampling, okay, my respondent will be chosen based on qualification, gender, and work experience. Okay, Sime Darby employee had a total of 22,862. However, in my research, I'll first focus on the group head office, okay, as the central point of my research, okay, where I will be given my questionnaire towards 104 respondents, which is equivalent to 70% from the total group head office. Okay, my population and sampling also consists of my sampling design. Okay, I'll be implementing convenient sampling and purposive sampling. Okay, the first convenient sampling will be consist of the executive and senior level executives. Okay, which will be chosen based on their availability, and my purposive sampling, okay, will be a pre-testing that will be conducted to acquire advice and also feedback. I'll be asking assistance from three academicians from the Faculty of Leadership and Management to provide an insights towards my questionnaire that I've prepared. My last presentation slides highlights the research instruments and the conclusions. Okay, my established questionnaire based on my three research objectives. Okay, the first research objective, which is to identify hybrid work. I'll be using work design questionnaire to solve my first research objective. The second of all, my research objectives, which is to identify the influence of hybrid works towards employee performance. I'll be using employee performance questionnaire established by Leong and Lams in the year 2016. And then the last one, which is to study organizational culture as the moderating variable. I'll be using organizational capacity for agility established by Sashkin and Rosenbach in the year 1990. The significance of my research, I've highlighted into three significance, which is the significance to employee, to the society, and towards the academicians. Okay, I've also related it with our sustainable development goals, the SDG, which is first the significance to employee. We actually acquire the SDG number 8, which is the decent work and economic growth, where the implementation of hybrid work will enhance opportunities for employees to remain at work, okay, by contributing to the organizational, either by physically working or working remotely. the second is the significance towards the society, which highlights, which hopefully to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals number 4, which is quality education, where the implementation of hybrid work will create a platform for organization to provide opportunity for the staff to learn and adapt to its new implementations of working. The last one is the significance towards academic field, in which the execution of human resource practices depends on the success or failure of policies and practices implemented in the workplace. Thus, okay, my research will help to actually mirror the hybrid work implementation so that other industries can further implement the hybrid work in an efficient approach. So with that, I end my research presentation. Thank you so much for your time. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.